we are an innovation cluster, really, based in Scotland, but with industrial members, about 100 industrial members spread all over Scotland, the UK, and actually further afield in Europe and the US. But trying to bring them together with academic capabilities, both within Scotland and actually also in the northern part of England, and getting projects and funding projects where industrial biotechnology can solve an industry problem, whether that's a utilisation of a waste stream or whether that's a new product coming from IB processes. Yeah, there are some issues, certainly in terms of waste management and looking at waste as a resource rather than a problem, that I think bioeconomy can absolutely solve. We're doing a number of projects looking at whisky waste and the utilisation of byproducts coming from the whisky industry to produce new molecules and to produce products that would come from fossil fuels but are coming from a co-product from another industry. And so those types of opportunities are something that I think can be really transformative. Absolutely. So again, talking about the whisky industry, is very, very traditional, sits in a number of rural locations in Scotland, but is also relatively clustered. And so utilising byproducts from that industry and creating new jobs and new opportunities, those will be clustered around the distilleries, because a lot of the byproducts have high water content, so there's no point shipping water across the country. So that gives us some opportunities to develop these rural economies, but produce products that can then be shipped into the whole of the UK. So it's an interesting way of taking an old, traditional, and maybe somewhat stuck in its own ways industry, but revitalising it and utilising some of the resources that come out of it, but keeping those local communities and growing those local communities. I think one of the things that we miss currently is the skill set to be able to do that, and something that my organisation is working on is looking at skilling the next generations of biotechnologists to understand that biotechnology isn't just making the next new medicine, it's potentially making the next new chemical, material, or any number of compounds. So getting people to understand the opportunities, but skilling them both from lab scale all the way up to PhD to sort of lead those developments, I think is vitally important, and something that we don't necessarily have in the UK or in Scotland in a huge concentration, and that's something that we're trying to change.